I'm back.
Every time I walk out that door, every time I interact with anybody new, my purpose is to help change.
It's time to celebrate life. If you know that you're in charge of your life, it's time to stand up. If you know you want better for your life, it's time to stand up. If you know that you have what it takes to be in charge of your life, it's time to stand up. If you know that you are not just trying to be good for you, but for those around you, it's time to stand up. As a matter of fact, look to the person to your left and tell them you are enough.
I want to help you change, and just like you change, every time I interact with somebody, they help me change. It's no different than if I met an individual and they had 4 quarters and they needed change, or if I had $1 and they had 4 quarters, I need to change. We can swap the money. The value is still the same. They still got $1, I still got $1, but we both exchange something, and it was a change for both of us. So every time I walk out that door, I inspire to help change lives just as much as lives have changed me.
Y'all been listening to the wrong people, watching the wrong things all your life, and it's time to put to rest all those negative thoughts, because you are enough. It's time to put to rest that self-doubt, because you are enough. It is time to get rid of that negative energy, because you are enough. It is time to stop listening to people that don't have the best interests of you and your life, because you are enough. So let's have a moment of silence. I want everybody to understand that you are the person that's in charge of your life. Everything that you have inside of you to be who you're supposed to be in life. You have a destiny, and that destiny can only be accomplished through you, by you, and only you, with the help of God. When you realize that you are the person you are, because you're not a carbon copy, there's only one you. They try to put you in a box. Society tries to put you in a box, but you can't be in a box. How can you be in a box when there's only one you? But then they tell you, think outside the box. What I'm trying to get you to understand is there is no box.
I want to pass on the things that I have to the generations behind me. By the time it's time for me to get called home and go to the grave, I want to be empty. I believe in bankrupting the cemetery, so I can't take this knowledge with me, because the cemetery is already full of brilliant ideas and unwritten books and innovative ideas. I can't take this with me, so I'm trying to leave it all here as Billy Graham Jr. to the next generation so somebody else can carry it on. What's going on, family? We are back, and man, how much I have missed y'all. And when I say it, I know y'all get tired. Y'all like, you say that every week. You miss us every week. I really do, because you don't understand. The whole purpose of this show is bringing on different individuals and different business owners, entrepreneurs, so you can take a look into how they got to where they are today. We always see people when they get to the top, but we like to see people going out through the whole entire process, hearing from beginning to end what got them there. When I found out who I was talking to today, oh my goodness. Now, the reason I say that is because for some of us, we all about that dollar. People want to make money. How can I have a better life? Things cost money. The kids need new shoes. Mama need a new bag. We always trying to figure it out. Well, the individual that I have coming today is going to tap into a little bit of that financial resources. You know, that investing that you hear so much about, different types of currency from like Forex to crypto. And man, just taking a snippet of looking at some of the things this gentleman has done, some of the, just listening to the way he goes about life, I was like, man, I gotta have people hear you, meet you, see you, hear all the wonderful things that you're doing for your family, how you're changing your family. So I'm not gonna hold it up any longer. I gotta bring it to you, the Crypto King, because man, this dude is killing it. So I'm gonna bring you the one, the only Jackson Armstrong Jr., the Crypto King. Man, what's going on, brother?
Hey, how you doing?
Man, I'm trying to be like you when I grow up. That's how I'm doing.
I keep hearing that more and more now.
Hey, it must be some truth behind it if you keep hearing it on a regular basis.
Oh yeah.
Man, but I gotta ask, can you tell everybody out there who is Jackson Armstrong, the crypto king? Crypto King Jack, who are you?
I appreciate it, man. So I'm a small town. Most people call me country, but I come from a little town called Central Florida, and I've been, I don't know, looking for something to set me and my family free, and I finally found it about 2 years ago now, and it's definitely done that.
Wait,
Um, Let me
go
see.
ahead.
Go ahead. Okay. So I guess I'll start from where I started from, right? Because this all really started when I got medically separated from the Air Force. And so I had planned to do 20, 30 years in the Air Force. It was I guess it was my dream job to finish out Air Force, retired, get that government contracting job and all that stuff. But then in 2017 I got diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. And so they said because I couldn't deploy that I had to be separated from the Air Force. And so I fought it for I think, was that a whole year? Yeah, I fought it for about a year, going through all the processes to stay in the Air Force and not actually get kicked out. I say kicked out. I got medically separated from the Air Force. And so it really, I don't tell a lot of people this, but it broke my heart, right? And so, because that was what I planned to do. My wife she's a captain in the Air Force. And so I was planning on doing the 20 with her and us retiring together and doing all the retirement type stuff together. But plans don't always go the way that we plan it. And so I'm sitting in this bed. First off, I got to the hospital and they were like, "How long have you been a diabetic?" And I was like, "What? I'm not a diabetic." Like, "Yeah, you are." I was like, "Oh no." And so now I'm sitting in this bed thinking, what am I gonna do with the rest of my life? Like, I didn't plan on, like, I don't have any other income. And so that was the moment that I kind of decided, like, I'm never going to be in this position again, to
Yeah.
where I'm only dependent on one income and my family has to think about, well, I have to think about feeding my family or how I'm going to do that. And so now I probably got over 15 different streams of income right now. I don't have to worry about if something happens and one of them goes away. Well, I got another one to move in its place. And so my one of the things I learned from one of my side things I was doing, I was selling insurance and helping people with their finances, is multiple streams of income will definitely set you free. And that's essentially where I'm at right now.
Wow. So for one, thank you and your wife for your service. Because
I
hey,
appreciate it.
after being in the Air Force, one of those people you're talking about did the 20. Like it sounds backwards because that's the route you were going, and I'm retired after doing 20 years, and I'm like, I'm looking at you from the other lens, like, man, I wish something like this would have kicked off a little early in my mindset. Instead, you're already, because you don't believe it or not, you're living what other people are trying to accomplish. And I'm sorry that you had to go through that, didn't get to fulfill that part of your life, but it opened up another door for something you weren't even thinking about.
Oh man, never would have thought. Wasn't
So I'm
even.
curious. I'm curious because I know what you're sitting there and it's like, no, I'm not gonna let this thing stop me from getting my family to where we need to be.
Mhm.
What was that first thing that you did? It was like, all right, I gotta find that first thing before you became Crypto King Jack. Like, what was that first thing that said, okay, let's find another way to take our life?
It was actually the company Primerica, and so I'm not sure if you're familiar. They're a
No, no, tell us about
insurance and investment company, and I learned from a couple millionaires about the multiple streams of income, and they were just telling me how to budget, how I should plan for emergencies, like putting my kids through college, all that stuff. I didn't have kids at the time, but I had planned on having kids. And so that stuff really piqued my interest because whenever I actually got separated and I was looking for work, I went to a military career fair and Primerica was there. And they didn't really tell me what it was, but I went to the office and then he started explaining it to me, saying how I could budget my own money and do financial needs analysis for people. And when they did mine, it showed me that I was not doing the best job that I could have been doing with my money. And so once they did the analysis, they was like, okay, you and your wife made $143,000 last year. I was like, where? Like, I didn't. Where did they spend? What did I do with that money? I didn't know what I did with it, and that kind of felt bad, right? Because like, who makes 106 figures and don't know they made that much money? Exactly. And so they put all the numbers together, and they was like, okay, you spending too much money here, you spending too much money here, and that's when it kind of light bulb in my head. Like, if I didn't know this, I know there's other people that didn't know it, and so that's when I went on a mission. I'm actually still an agent with Primerica, and so I love helping people figure out their finances. It's just because when you see the light bulb go off in their head, like, oh man, now I know where I'm going on this road for finances, because that's probably one of the number one struggles a lot of people have is managing money.
Yeah, because let's be honest, like, we all go through school and all that, but one of those classes never is how to budget your own money. They teach you everything else except the stuff we need in the world. Like, hey, let me show you how to balance your money. Like, they teach you all this math and how to find X, Y, and Z and the algebra and all these equations, but never the money. So once I tell people, it sounds crazy, but you hit on something that I don't want it to be missed. When you said you got to the company and you had mentors and people that came around that were already millionaires, we always tell people, look at the circle you're in. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying your friends and family and loved ones shouldn't be listened to. But when you get a different perspective from somebody that's in a different tax bracket, it opens your mind to things that you probably never would have thought of because you wouldn't have never been introduced to those millionaires.
Nope.
So what did that mindset after you learn how to, because I appreciate you for helping people out, believe it or not, you're going to be helping me soon because I got a bunch of questions. How did that lead to that next avenue of saying, okay, I'm learning about insurance? Because you just said I'm still a part of them. So how does that work? Like, I know that's one of your sources of income. How does that work where you're still a part of them and you're doing something else?
So with Primerica, you when you do insurance, I'm an independent contractor for their company. And so I have a license. I'm licensed in 16 states actually. And I don't have the investment license just because I don't want it to interfere with the other stuff that I'm doing. And so you can't commingle those kind of things. And so I just don't want to put myself or the company in any risk as far as like me giving advice or recommending something to somebody and putting the company at risk. And so I can still write insurance policies, but I kind of stay away from the investment side of the company.
And that's something that you do remotely, or is it something you have to go in and do?
Remotely. I can do all of that stuff on everything on Zoom. And so I just have to the person has to be in the state that I'm licensed in, and then I have to be in the state that I'm licensed in, and I can help them get insured.
Oh, wow. Because the reason I say that, because that's another thing that's overlooked in many communities, the power of needing that insurance. Like, we see people, sad to say, when something happens tragically in somebody's life, it's different stuff from go fund this, go fund that. Like, nobody thinks about that insurance piece. And for you to be able to do that and the ability to do it in 16 states, like, I know this is going to be a little bit off topic, but if for somebody that's out there that's watching, that's like, man, I've been trying to get an insurance, or I'm insurance and I don't know how to branch to different states. What does it take to even get in the door of being able to help people with insurance?
So with us, Really, it's just getting the license, right? And so the way we do it, because we do recruit people, what you would do is find somebody that is in the company, and they would get you signed up, and then they would start you on the training process. I've seen people get licensed in less than a week. I've seen people take 2 or 3 months. It just depends on you. It's at your own pace. And then we have bonuses to where, depending on how fast you get licensed and how many people you help during that licensing process, you can get all types of bonuses. The highest bonus I saw was, I think, 20,000.
Wow.
And so just depends on how motivated you are to get into that space. And so, and then as far as getting licensed, once you have that, your home state license, all it is filling out a paperwork for the license of the state that you want to get in, and sending it to the home office, and they'll do all the paperwork, and you'll get the license in the mail.
So one state wasn't enough. You just started filling out different licenses for
Yeah.
all the different states. But you
Yeah.
said you had to be in the state that you're licensed in. So how does that work with if you're in
So
one state and you're trying
if
to do
I'm
it
in
in
my
another?
home state, well, I'm in Alabama. And if somebody say they're in California, as long as I'm in Alabama, I'm licensed in Alabama, and I have my license in California, I can do the insurance for California.
Oh, okay. Got it. That makes it. That makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah.
So I say that because yes, independent contractor, but it's still sort of like that 9 to 5, like, and I'm putting it out there because the world is getting a lot of people confused right now that thinks like, oh, ditch your 9 to 5, become an entrepreneur, and I'm like, people
Mm-mm.
don't realize what it takes to become an entrepreneur, and that 9 to 5 can do one or two things: fund that life of entrepreneurship, but it also at the same time can help change the trajectory of your family if done right and knowing how to do things right. So you're a good case of that. Like you got this and you did use that to funnel into something else. So how did that work? Hey, what's going on? Now you got, hey, we love the family. You ain't gotta
Hey,
hide around here. See, he knew
yeah,
you was thirsty. He knew it. He knew
here you go.
it.
Hey, watch your
Hey.
shot. Say hey. He waving. He can't see his hand though.
Oh man, I love, man. Hey, we all about family over here, man. That's all that 'cause we do
Yeah.
it for them. So of course we're
Oh
gonna be
yeah,
about
man.
family.
He's definitely one of my biggest motivations. What was the question again? Sorry, I was.
So how did, because we were talking about that 9 to 5 and that trajectory of using that 9 to 5 the I don't know, bounce or balance and go to the next. So how did you use insurance to take you down to the next path of saying like, hey, I got to do some more for my family, or we need something else?
So the funny thing is, insurance was still my side thing, and so because when I got out of the military, I had a top secret clearance, and so I went and got a government contracting job. And so I had that job, and I had the insurance that I was doing on the side, and I was helping a lot of people get their protection and making sure that their budget was right to a point where they knew they had some kind of idea of what they were going to be making. Hey, he's over here. Okay. And so it was really for, I want to say, about a year and a half. I was working that, I was doing this, and I was doing the insurance. And so I was working nights as a contractor, 9 to 5 in the morning. And then I would get off, do my insurance until probably like 1 or 2, go to sleep for a few hours. And so it kind of became kind of hard for my wife because she would get off work and I would be asleep, and then she would have to go get him, and she would always have him. So that was a motivation in itself to be like, well, I don't want to work nights and have my wife watch my son all the time.
Daddy playing game.
I'm gonna play the game later, okay?
Yeah, gotta wait your turn.
You gotta wait your turn, yo. And so definitely one of my biggest motivations to get free and be able
Hey, Daddy.
to be here with him and
Yeah.
help my wife finish her career, and of course do what I want to do on my own terms, right? Because I got type 1 diabetes, man. Just
Yeah.
it's gonna affect something eventually. So I figured why wait for it to get to that stage when I can just take control of my life.
Man, that's you just hit on something about that, take control of your life. Like I'm sorry, but if you're gonna drop it, I gotta make sure they understand. Like so many people miss that part. Like we always feel like, hey, I don't have control, I don't have control. But how often do people look and ask that question of what do I need to do to take control? Like, what is the thing I need to take? Because we understand most people want to take control of their finances. Most people want to take control of their time, but it's like having this broad spectrum. You have to narrow down what that one thing is. Like you were saying, like you were having to help your wife. So first thing first, I have to take control of this time where I can help my wife with my kid. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we don't zero in on the one thing. We just say, oh, I got to take control of my finances, but we don't learn how to budget our finances or how finances work in our benefit. But you're narrowing down to everybody, like take control of the specific aspect and then branch off from there. And that's exactly what you did. So now I gotta know what was the next move when you said I have to take control. I got the contracting. I'm not sleeping because I come home and do the insurance, got to do it. What was that aspect that said I got to take control and this is what I'm going to do?
So the funny thing, I'm sure a lot of people get this, but somebody inboxed me on Facebook and they was like, hey, look at this. And the first time I was like, no, I don't think I'm gonna look at that, because I mean, random people message you all the time. But then a second person actually messaged me, but they actually explained what it was. They went in more detail about what it was actually that they were showing me. And so, okay, now this makes sense. I'll give it a try.
Yeah.
And so I tried. I threw $100 at it, and it actually started making money. And so I was like, hey, if this is working, what else is out here? And so I actually found this group. It's called UIGISC, UIGI Social Club. And so it's a social club of like-minded people. We get together and we make money together, and we take trips. I actually just came back from the Bahamas 2 weeks ago, and then in July I went to Mexico. Next July we're going to Jamaica for a week and it's for our so we earn what we call the millionaire circle ring. And once you're making so much money in different platforms that we have, you get this ring. It's worth like $13,000 right now, but it's really just it's awesome, because with the Air Force, I always love the camaraderie of being together and doing stuff together. And so when I found this social club, I was like, man, well, now I can have people to talk to about the things that I enjoy, and we're gonna take trips. I've actually traveled more with UIGI than I did with the Air Force. Hey, what you doing over there? Okay. Sorry.
No, you good, man. Hey, I got 3 boys. I know exactly. I understand. Like, I get it.
Yeah, I gotta make sure he ain't.
Hey, don't worry. You got a whole bunch of people on the other side of the screen helping you babysit right now. I say father sit because we don't really babysit. We just taking control. We got our kids. But I gotta understand. I want to break this down a little bit. Mm-hmm. You joined this social club.
Yep.
What was that avenue that even connected you? Because we hear so many people that say, join this, come over here. What was that little thing that connected you that said, all right, I got $100. I'm gonna try this.
I've always been a person that tries new stuff, and I'm really open-minded, right? And so, I've done a few MLM things. I've done some network marketing, and once, I saw it and it was passive. So the $100, I can always make another $100. And so I was like, if it actually works, then that'll free up some time to me. This could free up a lot of time in the future. And so, like I said, I gave it a try. It made some money. And so I started looking for other stuff. The guy that invited me, he was already in the social club. I just went to the point where, hey, stop pointing. Well, I just wanted to get more involved in it. And so once I saw that there were more opportunities to get involved with, I just started putting more money, because I had the job. I had all my bills and all that stuff taken care of. I had some extra money to throw at stuff. So and that's pretty much where it started. And then whenever so my mentor, one of my mentors, Rabu Gary, he put out that, you can get this ring once you once you participate in these programs. And I was like, oh, you getting a ring now. And so that's whenever I went after it. And I was like, I was actually one of the youngest at the time, the youngest ring earner in the group. And so, hey, no, you gonna get down? Go watch a show.
Watch was.
Yeah, you in there. And so once he said about the ring, I knew that was I set a goal, and I just went after it.
So you're blowing my mind right now because two things. I'm gonna get to that, but one, you said you're open, you keep your mind, you're open-minded, you're into trying new things, because so many people, including myself, I know it, especially a bunch of stuff, it's like that open-minded is like you're so narrow-minded, you're not willing to take that leap. I call it jumping off the porch. Like when you're a little kid, you just jump off the porch, the curb, all kinds of stuff. But as we get older, we barely jump off the couch, jump up to get off the couch. Like, oh, gotta take it easy, so you have that open mind. And it led you to that. Now, I ain't trying to get into the specifics or nothing like that, but you said, because I noticed we said a bunch of multiple streams of income, and you said you did the $100, and then it was like, if you join this and join that, did the multiple streams of income come with inside of the group?
Yep. We have 10 different streams in the group. Well, that's on our promo page. We have 10, but then there's things outside of that, depending on once you get to becoming a ring earner, there's a VIP group also, and so once you get in there are even more opportunities, and so it's mind blowing. It's a lot of stuff a lot of people don't know about out here that could change their lives as far as like making passive income. And so I don't like to make income claims, but I'm good. I'm really good. I'm doing good. So my government contracting job, that was a 6-figure job. And in a year and a half, I replaced my income to where I didn't need that 6-figure job anymore.
In a year and a half?
Yeah, a year and a half.
I'm taking a moment of silence because it's very rare that we get mind blown over here, but to take a moment of silence, because we hear people all the time say, and I want to put this in the spectrum for people with time, because you just said about that control aspect, and you mentioned time earlier, and I want to not miss this opportunity to talk about that time piece where you said, because everybody has this mindset of that fast dollar. And I try to tell people, like, there's no such thing as that fast dollar. But if we equate it to time that you're talking on, being able to bring in enough income to where you don't even have to worry about that job and do it in a year and a half, if we did it based off of the time of people doing it being relative, that year and a half is like quick money. Oh, yeah. Like most people, it take 20, 30, 40 generations to be able to do that type of thing. And you did it in a year and a half. Wow.
I turned 34 in like 8 days. No, the 29th. So I can't count right now. It's 12 days.
Hey, when you count that much money, you can let the little numbers like 8 and 20, 12. We ain't got to worry about those are little numbers. Those are little numbers.
Yeah, I got you.
So now I have to ask because somebody out there, if it comes across my mind, I know it's coming across other people's mind, and they're probably trying to figure out. One, it sounds too good to be true. I trust and believe you because I know you, but
that's a compliment. I appreciate that.
What's that thing that they have to do? Because they're probably saying, like, how do I get involved? What is the steps, or what platforms, or what things do they need to put on their phone? Because everybody doesn't have access to just enter the room with millionaires as mentors and stuff like that starting out. So what is that avenue that people can take, or where can they go to learn about certain things to be able to be a part of anything that can get them like you, like your family?
Okay, yeah. So we have I mentioned it earlier, we have a promo page. And so one of my mentors, Rabu Gary, he has the first video is 6 minutes. He explains the purpose and our goal for the social club. And then once you scroll down, it has all types of information, whether it's wallets, what type of wallets to use, the programs that we have. So he has them listed, and then if you click learn more on one of the programs, it comes up video and explains it, usually like 15 to 20 minutes, explaining what each project does and how they make the returns on the money that you would put into the platform. And then it also has a video that shows you how to sign up and get started. And so it makes it really almost seamless whenever I'm sharing with somebody, or I have my ring on and somebody's like, hey, what's that? And then I'll be like, well, it's the ring I get for doing nothing. And then then I'll give them my link to the promo page, and it has all my stuff on it to where they can do it at their own pace. Because that's one thing that I don't do. I don't chase people. And so if they're serious about getting free and earning that passive income, then they'll do the legwork to go and watch the videos and learn about it. And so, because I don't do any convincing, because that's almost like work. And so I've made it, Rabu has made it really easy to help people share that type of stuff. You did get rewards for getting people to join, but like I said, any of the stuff that we have, you don't have to recruit or refer anybody, and you can earn money on your money.
Earn money on your money. That's when you get to the point where you make your money work for you.
Yep.
That's when you know you're doing something. Your money is working for you, and it ain't even about recruit. Because I like how you put that about you don't go chasing anybody, because I feel like it's a mindset thing. Like, you have to, remember we talked about it earlier, take control of your life. Like, you have to want to take control of your life. You have to want to go find a way to change the trajectory of your family. You have to take control of your own freedom. And if I got to chase you down and do all that, then you really must not want it. So I love that, because everybody don't understand. We say we want our money working for us, but are you willing to put in that leg work in the front end to make it work for you? And in front end ain't too long, because you just said you did it in a year and a half. Because you also, but I don't want people to mistaken that. You have to be driven to do that type of stuff, because you heard what Jack said. Like, you can, it's at your own pace. So if you're not doing what you need to do, then you're not going to get that return on your investment that you're going for. Oh my goodness.
Right. Well, it's like, I heard, I think it was a video, Kobe, he was saying he said, if I got to come and force you to go to the gym, then like what are we really doing? Like, because I don't want to be dragging you around. I'm here to win.
Man, it's funny you say that, because I saw that it was in a documentary. There's one you're talking about. Unless it's more, because he probably said it more than once, but it was in the documentary when they were talking about the USA basketball team. And they were like saying like how Kobe got to the point, because at that time in his career, he was like kind of like considered, he had just went through a big situation. And so he really wasn't, and Kobe wasn't friendly, like talking to people like that. But they said when he was there, like they would be coming in from the club. This is the American dream team, like almost. It's the USA basketball team. And he was like, they'll be coming in from being out the night before at like 4, 5 in the morning. And Kobe's already walking out the door dressed to go to the gym to get one of the first of his probably 6 or 7 workouts in. And that's when they were saying, like, he said that, like, if I got to make you go to the gym, then what are we doing? And over time, that mindset shifted to where everybody was going with them. And I'm pretty sure it's people on here right now. Again, thank everybody for tuning in. That's watching you, and they're watching while they're coming in from work. They're watching you sit there. Oh, you just getting from work? I'm already on to adventure number 8, because I'm trying to keep my family financially secure. And somebody eventually, I know I'm one of them. I'm first if nobody else knows. That's gonna be like, hey, I need to know what I need to do next. Like, do you need me to? What do I need to put this $100? Where's the video at that I gotta go watch? Where do I do the lead work? So you got me at least, because I know I'm joining. You got a new friend and didn't even realize it. Tell little man like, hey, little man, I'm your new friend too. It's all family. It's all family. So I have this question, and I'm pretty sure everybody wants to know. So now that you have these multiple streams of income, and yes, you're still doing the insurance, which I'm pretty sure if you replace one job, you don't have to, but you're just passionate for helping people. what keeps you connected to where you're like, I have these streams of income, but I'm still doing these things to help others? What makes you continue to do that?
Well, I mean, I know the place I was in, and like I was probably sleeping maybe 3 or 4 hours a night for that year and a half. And so I know there's other people like that, and people that want to take control of their lives. And I mean, I take him to daycare in the morning. Yes, he still goes to daycare. I'm a stay-at-home dad. I just stay at home, but but I take him to daycare. I come home, and then I get on my social media sites. I check my income. Take me like 30 minutes. Check all that stuff, and then really, I'm thinking of social media content to attract people to me. So, like, remember earlier I said I don't chase people. I attract them to me, and so they'll ask for info. Hey! I'm on a thing. And so I attract them to me to with the lifestyle that I live and the way that people see stuff, and if they want it, then they'll ask about it for the most part. And so I just love helping people. Like I helped somebody yesterday. Well, I was telling somebody about this same opportunity yesterday, and she was like, I'm so excited right now. She was like, I probably won't even sleep tonight. I gotta go do this. I'm about to do everything you just told me. And just her excitement, like really being fulfilled. I think I couldn't just sit around and do nothing. I don't think that's not me.
Hey. Now you just opened a new door that you right. You don't even realize this. So now I have to ask this because I know everybody else heard it. Mm-hmm. Can we sit here right now and can you give? I don't know how long you talked to this young lady yesterday, mm-hmm. but can you give us some similar? I know it won't be exact of what you told her, so we can inspire others out there to feel what she feels so that they can get to the lifestyle similar to yours, but in their form or their fashion. Can you give us that skill?
I talked to her for about an hour and a half. I think 2 hours. Every time I would say, oh, well, we're about to go now. She was like, okay, what's this then? And so really, I was telling her, I was like, look, so what you can do is you can make 20 to 40% on your money a month and without doing anything. And that was just like ear to ear. She was like, what? I was like, yeah. So right now, that's what I 20 to 40% a month, depending on, like, of course, the trading and stuff like that. But that's pretty ridiculous though, because you think in the average investment or average thing where you put your money at, they're not making like maybe 10 to 12% a year. And so that definitely changed her whole thought process on earning money on your money. And so it was just, I don't know, that was pretty much it. But we kept talking about other specifics in different the different platforms as far as Forex, real estate. I have a Amazon store, getting a Walmart store. And so just passive income in general. When you work all your life, the thought of passive income is amazing, I think.
I'm sitting here mind blown because so you got to look at it from my perspective because I'm opening up new to this like everybody else. Mm-hmm. They hype us up to make us feel good, like to get 3% is amazing. Mm-hmm. And you're telling us not just 20 to 40%. And then you snuck some other stuff in there because I'm here with the passive income. Then you snuck in the Amazon store and talking about the Walmart store. Like, I know I'm gonna have to talk to you. My mind is all over the place because I'm like, Walmart store 20-40%. Like, is it still at that? Because you said something. Now I'm gonna ask this question: is it still at that current where somebody can do this legwork in the beginning and still get into this with $100?
Yeah. So actually, majority of our platforms start at $100, and so just depending on compounding, I don't want to say I would recommend starting that low. It's just that's where I started at because that's all I had at the time. But most of the things, like, I mean, you gotta think 20-40% a month on, let's say, $1,000 is what, $200 to $400. But now I'm making that most days. Like, I wake up like this is something that I've always wanted to say. I wake up to money, and it's pretty awesome, and I want other people to have that, to feel that, right? And so I know if it makes me feel the way it makes me feel, I want other people to feel that way. And so it's it's a lot of different stuff that I just think it's not necessarily that people don't have access to it; they just don't have knowledge of it.
So that knowledge that you're speaking of, obviously, I'm
Mhm.
going. Everybody, don't worry. I'm gonna get all this information. It will be in the description below in the YouTube. Like I will make sure it gets there. But this knowledge that you're talking about, and people are, I'm trying to think on the lines of, because I know how that feels.
Mhm.
So that 20 to 40%.
Okay.
How you said $100? We know how they break that down. That's what, $20 to $40.
Mhm.
So, and you said compounding interest. So compounding interest, nobody that understands, it's like where you just keep adding on and it adds on. So if you start with that $100, can you just continue to add your own money, or do you let the interest money keep flipping it over?
You can add weekly, daily, however often that you want. And so because in the first couple months, that's what I was doing. So I started with the 100, and then of course I saw it was working, and so I started dollar cost averaging is what they call it. And so the more you put money in each time, now instead of it earning off, say you made $110, you made 110. Now you got 110 in there. Next month you put another 100. Now it's compounding off $210, and then the next month or week or however often that you want to add that money, and it's just going to continue to grow. And so they actually did, once you become a ring earner with the platforms that we have, from that period of time, I think he did the math, is you'll make $1 million in about a year from being a ring earner with the platforms that we require to get the ring.
So okay, hold on.
I'm sorry, I keep.
Once you get the ring, it's like almost just because you're already in there, then you're gonna get the million
Yeah,
within a year.
it's only a matter of time after that. Yeah.
So what does it take to even get the ring?
So the total to go, I guess the total amount of money to get into that position to say, yeah, I'm a ring earner is 15,000. And so you don't have to start there. People can, so you can come in today. If you have 15, you could put it in there and you're a ring earner just that quick, right? But you can also grow to it. And that's what I did. I actually did that without referring anybody. And so just to show people that you don't have to refer anybody to be in the space that we're in and making a type of money that we make. Actually, a lot of ring earners don't. I don't think they actually refer a lot of people. And so only reason I really got into referring people is because I was into Primerica, which they do recruiting, and I was already doing networking and marketing, and it was just something that kind of took off with this, and I think it prepared me for what I'm doing today, actually, because I was in Primerica for three years before I actually got into UIGI, and so it's definitely, saying it changed my life is an understatement.
It's changing my life and the money in your bank account. So that should make you know how I feel. I know it's changed your life because my life is changing every time you drop another nugget on us. Like that's just the amazing thought process to even have. Like if looking at it now and looking at where you're going, because I don't want people to miss this part, because we always see like people say multiple streams of income.
Mm-hmm.
Being like you said, it replaced your income within a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
What did that do to keep making you go like that drive? Because obviously you're still driven because you're like Amazon store, Walmart store. Like, what did it do when it opened your mind and expanded to where you're like, I'm finna do all this now? How did that work?
Well, so Walmart and Amazon store is actually one of our platforms in UIGI.
So it really is all inclusive.
Yeah. So we just updated our UIGI page. It has a tab for healthcare, it has a tab for travel agent, marketing agency. Like we're really becoming like my mentor like to say, a household name as far as the #1 social club in the world. And so we have like 300,000 members that participate in these different platforms all over the world. It's awesome.
And all these people meet at these different destinations every year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not all. I'm pretty sure all 300,000 will show up.
No, I think this last one we had maybe 150, 200 people, and we went like on a yacht. We went a party boat. It was crazy. It was crazy. We were taking over like resorts. It's crazy.
How in the world they got that many members? I don't know about them, but sign me up because I know me and my family are gonna be there real soon. How you just said about the young lady that you talked to yesterday. Just talking to you today, you don't realize how I'm finna do all kinds of. I think I got a quick $100 I can put in some stuff. Let me go watch some videos because see the difference between everybody else. Like I want this out there because right now I'm currently in Korea right now, so I'm ahead of time. So while it's turning nighttime for everybody in the States and people got to get ready to go to sleep and go to their job, it's morning for me. By the time we done, I got the whole day ahead of me. I'm gonna be researching and doing stuff all day long. Like I had plans, and I think, well, I gotta still go to the grocery store. Gotta still feed the family. Outside of that, you have piqued my mental state, and for everybody that knows me, a bunch of the people come in. Thanks for tuning in. They notice about me when you pique my mental state. You got me going in one direction right now, and I'm trying to get like you when I grow up. Like I told you in the
beginning. That's funny. That's hilarious.
No, but I really want to because I want to drive this point home because so many people are looking for avenues. Can you please just elaborate? Because don't get me wrong, I'm gonna put this information in the description box. Can you elaborate like how? Because I know it's easier said than done. How life changing it is now that you have gotten control of your life. Got that? Because I have the 5 pillars: finance, fitness, family, freedom, and faith. But now that you have that finance, the freedom, like you have all this stuff, how has that changed not just your life, your family's life? Like what did it do to change the trajectory for your son and your grandkids to come in the future? Like how did that work for you?
So it's gonna put my son in a position to where he has choices. And so I joined the Air Force because that was pretty much it. Like it was join the Air Force or probably go to jail for doing dumb stuff. And so now he has choices to where I can go to college, I can go to Air Force, I can go to Navy, Army, I can do whatever I want to do. I can start a business because he has a UGMA account that'll probably be millions of dollars in there by the time he turns 18 or 21 or whenever he can get that. And so I think giving him options to do what he really wants to do, he doesn't have to make that decision like, well, I gotta work this job until I do this, or it just gives him a lot more options. And then the fact that my family my immediate family, for one, I can help them more often because it was to a point where family was asking for help and I could not. It's like at the time, it's like I'm living paycheck to paycheck myself. I got to take care of immediate family, like my wife and my son, before I can hand out money. But now it's a lot easier for me to say, okay, here go $200, here go $400, and not have to worry about, okay, where I'm gonna replace that $400 because I got to pay my bill now. And so it has definitely put me in a better position to definitely be a bigger help to family, whether it's sisters, mother, or my nieces, nephews. I can do a lot more. And so it's almost, I can't even explain it, man. It's a good feeling to know that I can help more people without putting my own family in a situation.
Man, so it's somebody out there that's watching right now that's like, man, he's killing the game. I want to be like him. Like it's like I want to be like Jack. Like can you please? Because it's somebody. Because I would be wrong if I didn't ask. Can you tell how can people contact you, or what's the best way to get a hold of you, or do you mentor, or do you help us? Like, what is it? What are ways they can learn? Because don't worry, I'm gonna put your YouTube in the description because they can go watch videos. But what are other ways that they can get in touch or talk to Jack or get to learn from you? Like, what are those options?
Yep. So what they could do is just mention your show, Purpose Driven, and I'm on Instagram. It's Black Jack, and so it's the way you spell it is it's a 3 LAK and then my name Jack, and that's Instagram, and then they can find me on Facebook. You poop. Sorry, I smell something.
Good.
Not. So what was that? Instagram, Facebook. I'm on YouTube. I think I gave you my email address, so I don't know if you can put that in the description too. Just let me know that you were watching the show, and I can reply, get you the links, and then help if it's needed. A lot of people say that sometimes I help a little too much, but I'm to a point where I made this post yesterday or a few days ago. I'm to the point right now where it actually excites me more to see people earn more income and free themselves than it does for me to just make more money. Because like I told you, I'm doing really good right now. Plus my wife is a captain in the Air Force, so she's also making pretty good money. And so I don't have to, money is not an obstacle for things I want to do now. And so that in itself is a big life change.
Man. Yes, don't worry about it. I promise you, it's gonna be in the description. And as you heard it here first, when you mention Purpose Driven, Jack, whenever you contact them, just mention that you saw him on Purpose Driven, and that's how you're gonna get the information even faster and be able to reach out and help. But I do this to everybody. So I got to do it to you. For that person that's out there, what's that one piece of advice or that one mentorship moment or that one thing that you would tell them to help inspire them to not just change the life for themselves, but change their lives for themselves?
I would say it's mindset, really. Like for me, at an early age, I believed that I could do anything that I wanted to do, as long as I didn't make excuses and I had a. Oh, you poop. Okay.
Hey, brother. Hey, I get it.
Yeah, go in the bathroom, man. I'm gonna be in a minute. So mindset, just believing in yourself. Really, I know it sounds cliche, but if you're really driven and you know what you want to get done, you can get it done. I read a quote yesterday. It said, "Be stubborn in your vision, but be flexible with the details." And so my the way I got here definitely changed over the years. Like the way I plan to get to where I'm at now, it definitely has changed, but the vision was still the same. Being financially free, being able to do what I want when I want to.
Man, I'm not even gonna touch that because I'm gonna leave you right there because you said be stubborn with your vision, be flexible with your details. That right there is a quote. I'm leaving it right there. But I do, on behalf of everybody, because I know you gotta go tend to little man. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to come on and drop that nuggets for us. We appreciate you, and we definitely gonna have you come back on because I want to know how Amazon and Walmart is gonna branch out and other opportunities. So we will have you come back on, but we appreciate you for coming on, brother. We really do.
Definitely, I appreciate you for having me.
All right, now stick with me just for a second. I want to talk to you right after the show. Go help little man and all that, but I'm gonna talk to you right after the show. But again, thank you, brother, and Captain Crypto King Jack. I will see you on the other side.
All right, man.
Man, Jack. If y'all didn't catch that, man, Jack is amazing. That dude has so much information. Don't worry. I will get all of the links, everything down in the description, so that way you can get to changing your life as well. Because, hey, we only get one life. It should not be spent just struggling, going through hard times, not knowing what to do. And you heard Jack say first, the first thing he had to do was get control of his finances. He had people that mentored him, and now he's doing the same thing. And I don't want you to take that for granted, because that is a crucial part of getting to the success that you want. You have to be willing to give back once you get there, because best believe somebody is out there helping you get to where you want to be. It might be Jack. You just heard all this information. He's helping people get to where they need to be. And man, oh man, oh man. I told y'all we was going to have an amazing guest tonight. And I'm definitely looking forward to next week, because I don't even know who it is yet, but they got some big shoes to fill, falling behind the Crypto King Jack, because he just came on here, blessed us with knowledge that is going to change your life. And as always, I just want to thank you again for tuning in. Make sure you tune in next week. As always, we're going to be live every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. We're going to be live with another guest, because we want to find all those people that live in a life of purpose. They're driven by their purpose. And you too can have a life of purpose. And it only requires you to do one thing. Live a life of purpose. You have to live in your purpose, with purpose, on purpose. Thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all stay blessed. I love y'all. I'll see y'all next week.
I'm back.
Every time I walk out that door, every time I interact with anybody new, my purpose is to help change.
It's time to celebrate life. If you know that you're in charge of your life, it's time to stand up. If you know you want better for your life, it's time to stand up. If you know that you have what it takes to be in charge of your life, it's time to stand up. If you know that you are not just trying to be good for you, but for those around you, it's time to stand up. As a matter of fact, look to the person to your left and tell them you are enough.
I want to help you change, and just like you change, every time I interact with somebody, they help me change. It's no different than if I met an individual and they had 4 quarters and they needed change, or if I had $1 and they had 4 quarters, I need to change. We can swap the money. The value is still the same. They still got $1, I still got $1, but we both exchanged something, and it was a change for both of us. So every time I walk out that door, I inspire to help change lives just as much as lives have changed me.
Y'all been listening to the wrong people, watching the wrong things all your life, and it's time to put to rest all those negative thoughts, because you are enough. It's time to put to rest that self-doubt, because you are enough. It is time to get rid of that negative energy, because you are enough. It is time to stop listening to people that don't have the best interests of you in your life, because you are enough. So let's have a moment of silence. I want everybody to understand that you are the person that's in charge of your life. Everything that you have inside of you to be who you're supposed to be in life. You have a destiny, and that destiny can only be accomplished through you, by you, and only you, with the help of God. When you realize that you are the person you are, because you're not a carbon copy, there's only one you. They try to put you in a box. Society tries to put you in a box, but you can't be in a box. How can you be in a box when there's only one you? But then they tell you, think outside the box. What I'm trying to get you to understand is there is no box.
I want to pass on the things that I have to the generations behind me. By the time it's time for me to get called home and go to the grave, I want to be empty. I believe in bankrupting the cemetery, so I can't take this knowledge with me, because the cemetery is already full of brilliant ideas and unwritten books and innovative ideas. I can't take this with me, so I'm trying to leave it all here as Billy Graham Jr. to the next generation so somebody else can carry it on.